Alright, we just did Funnel's video asking out 100 girls. He did that at a mall. It seems like he did it in one day. Now he's asking out 100 women at the gym. And I'm interested to check this out because I don't go to the gym. I've never gone to the gym. I have zero interest in ever going to the gym. So I'm just wondering like what the interactions are even like.
Today I'm going to be asking 100 girls on a date in the gym because I'm lonely. I actually did this video a few weeks ago and got 0 dates. So this time around, I have 3 goals. 1, I have to find a friend and get him to help me talk to girls. I actually don't want to do this for me. 2, I have to ask out a personal trainer, somebody who actually works here. Would you want to go on a date with me?
I think his problem is his intention. In the previous video, that's actually the one we just reacted to. I think, I wonder when he uploaded this. He uploaded this 2 weeks ago. I think he just needed to be a little bit more forward. He was a little bit too playful, right? Like once you're getting the number, set a thing. Like just immediately say, "Let's go get dinner," right? Like, and he's probably also dropping the ball with the texting. I assume, like sometimes you're just gonna get like a fake number or whatever. That's going to happen, but most of the time that's not what's going to happen. So you could also drop the ball with the texting or call or whatever that goes on after you've gotten the number. But while you're getting the number, you can also kind of set the tone that, hey, I actually want to take you out. Like, I've gotten your number, but I still need to like get the date. So that's kind of where he dropped the ball. I also think he just kind of didn't care. Like, it's kind of just like how you are when you're in your early 20s. You just kind of like, you're like, whatever, I'm hooking up with this girl and this girl anyway. I got all these numbers, but who even cares? Like I've mentioned before, I asked out 300 women face to face in a month and a half the year before I went to college. The summer before I went to college. And I was in a different country than the country I live in. I was in the States. My phone didn't work in the States. I got tons of numbers. I just put them in my phone and then deleted them seconds later. Like, as soon as the interaction was done, delete. Like, some of the times I literally just pretended to put it in my phone. And sometimes I gave my number to the other person. And just random numbers. I just gave these women random numbers. Because I'm like, I don't even live in the same country. I'm not gonna meet up with this person. It's not happening.
Date with me. Would you guys want to go on a date with me? And 3, I have to actually go on a date.
I have a boyfriend.
The first few approaches, I got rejected.
Well, that's a very complicated question because I'm married.
Okay.
I feel like this potentially isn't a good location to be asking women out, because like this woman is seemingly like relaxing. Like maybe she worked out and she's just taking a break, so she's kind of just like there. So she's potentially setting herself up to get asked out often. Like maybe women just get asked out a lot at the gym, so you're just gonna have a high failure rate, a high rejection rate. I don't know, I don't go to the gym. But yeah, I think adding some intentionality, maybe even like escalating the flirting, right? We'll wait till it gets a yes to, I'll explain what I mean then.
Well, fair enough. It doesn't seem complicated to me. I respect that. It felt a lot more awkward seeing the same people over and over again in the same gym. The nerves are still kind of there. So.
That's a good point. You're going to see these people multiple times, so it's not the same as like asking somebody out in the mall like you did previously, because you're potentially never going to see any of those people again in your life. So at a gym that like you already like go to, different story. And there's going to be like a limited number of women in your age range there at that time. So he probably is going to the same gym multiple times to make this video to actually get to that 100 number.
I feel like we definitely need a bit more.
I have a boyfriend.
I also have a boyfriend, so probably not.
Oh my god. This is a prank.
And it was even more discouraging knowing I actually had to go on a real date. But I put that out of my mind for now and started focusing on finding a friend to help me talk to girls. Would you want to go on a date with me?
Oh my god. Actually, that's a great question. I'm a Christian, so
okay.
I talk to a guy.
I actually think he's lying about the outcome of his previous video. I think it resulted in a couple dates, or it would have had to have resulted in something. Like he at least got lucky with at least 2 of them, I think, for sure.
I'm looking for a guy that's
Fair
a
enough.
man of God.
Like last video, the more conversations I had, the easier it got. Okay. Okay. Well, how about I grab your number and then I text you? No pressure. Sounds good. Would you want to go on a date with me?
That's good. Sure.
Okay, that was literally like the coolest thing ever. I've never had this happen before. I had somebody come up to me and say that they watched my video. And just like that, I completed challenge 1. So I managed to meet a friend in the gym. He watched my old video. What is one piece of advice you could give me when approaching girls in the gym?
I would say be direct. If you just straight up be honest with your intentions.
Yeah, that's so funny that's the exact advice I'm giving this guy, is be direct. Be clear with your intentions. Be intentional. Right? And you can even do it in a kind of greasy way, right? You can say, like, damn, you look good. I just want to take you out this weekend. Like, I'm going to take you out on a date. Like, show actual interest beyond just getting the number.
And no pickup lines, no gimmicks. Just, like, put it out there.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
I would go on a date with you. Just to like see how it goes. Would I commit to you? I don't know.
I literally thought that this would be probably one of the hardest things I could do.
I do not want to go record stuff this morning.
I feel like everybody's just so much more receptive. The vibe here is very...
And it would be a great opportunity, too, like with that girl who said she doesn't know if she'd commit to you. Ask her if she likes movies. There's like a 90% chance she's going to say yes. Say, let's go watch a movie. Boom. Date happening. Like, at least it's a date happening, right? Like, movies are one of the worst dates to go on. But at least it's a date happening.
Very good. I was super nervous at first. I feel like this is the mood. Would you want to go on a date with me?
That's sneaky. I actually have a boyfriend. You're way too young for me.
I have a boyfriend.
Fair
He's
enough.
single. You can ask her.
How old are you?
How old do I look?
Young. Like early.
I'm
like
19.
21. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'd go to jail. I'm gonna have to decline.
Fair. The issue with rent...
Alright, we gotta go over that.
How old are you?
Alright, if you're 19, this might be terrible advice, but if you're 19 and you encounter like gorgeous women like this who are probably maybe like 25, 26, just highball your age. just say you're 24. Like, you can put yourself in their age. I'm not saying lie to people, but if you're like 19's freaking young, and you're gonna probably want to get some more experience with women. Like, I thought this guy was lying about the outcome of his previous video, but maybe he's not. If he's 19, like, he just doesn't know how to go for the kill, the finish, right? Like, actually, show some intentionality, show that attraction, express it, give like big compliments, make it clear that like this woman genuinely caught your eye and you really want to take her out. Like, it's kind of a balance, right? Like, you want to be laid back, but at the point when you're, like, getting the number, when the interaction is going well, and it's even, well, it's, like, leading to the number, as you do this, you'll start to, like, pick up on the vibe, where you'll kind of start to know that it's going to lead to you getting the number before you actually have gotten the number. So you need to utilize that opportunity to preempt, like, before you're getting the number, escalate the flirtation, or while you're getting the number, escalate the flirtation. You're definitely going to want to do that as opposed to trying to do that after the fact, right? Because you're going to interact after you get the number, potentially anyway. So the sooner the better, right? The sooner you can make your intentions better, the better, right? Like, for example, right? Like, both of these women are, like, really, really attractive. I would make it known that, like, you know, I'm not gonna say, like, I wanna slurp up between your legs or something, right? Like, I'm not gonna go that far, but you can literally say, like, damn, I want to take you out and spend the night with you, right? Like, make it clear that, like, you're, for lack of a better term, you're rock hard for this woman. You know, don't say you're rock hard or anything to the extent of, like, having, you know, you don't want any kind of, like, phallic imagery, but you want to like, make your intention very clear, even if that intention is entirely physical. You're just looking for something physical. Even if that's your intention, you can make that clear and still have a good outcome. But also, even if you have, like, intentions of, this might be somebody I want to date, like, so much attraction, and especially, like, being at the gym where, even more so than, like, normal conditions, but even normal, like, non-gym, like, settings, you're going to have this, like, physical connection first, a physical attraction first. Like, the physical ties into, like, the psychological and all that, but you need to, like, establish that physical attraction as soon as you possibly can, and you can do that with, like, simple gestures and flirtations, and you can do that very early, very, very early, right? And in a way you can, like, lead the conversation in that way is just being, like, intentional, being direct. You don't even have to be, like, greasy with your communication to lead it to greasy communication.
How old do I look?
Young. Like, early,
I'm
like
19.
21. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'd go to jail. I'm gonna have to decline.
Fair. The issue with random commercial gyms was that there weren't really many people my age. Would you want to go on a date with me?
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
And I was trying to actually go on a real date.
Engaged, but that's
Awesome.
wrong with it.
I ended up asking.
That right there.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you?
And I was trying to actually go on a real date.
Engaged, but
Right in this moment, right? Say you're talking to two women and you're asking them both out, which this should be happening to you. When one's engaged or whatever, and then points you to the friend, if they're directing you to the friend and they're both smiling and this is a positive interaction, throw a heavy-handed compliment immediately. Like point out that you are excited that she's single and that she is fine as hell. Throw it out there, make the move, be intentional and do it right in this instant, right? Like as soon as they're done saying what they're saying, the very next thing that he says once they finish their statements here is like, be like, damn, you're fine, you caught my eye, like let's go out. And then she's gonna say something, and you say, like, think of local restaurants. You should have almost every local restaurant in your head, and just think of a fancy place. Think of like the nicest Italian place locally, and just ask her if she wants to go there. But like, say it in a way like you're choosing. Like you've already chosen that you're taking her to this specific restaurant. But like you can do that and phrase it as a question. And have it be like, I've made the decision. Like, I want to take you to this place. Well, asking her if she wants to go there. It's just a basic communication maneuver, I guess. But you're in. Like, you're 100% in. Easiest possible scenario right here. You're in. Like,
awesome. I ended up asking the dude I met earlier for some better gyms to meet people my age. Would you guys want to go on a date with me?
Such an awkward question.
I know my friend Kaylee here would love to.
Whoa. It's her choice.
She really would.
you're kind of putting yourself. You're kind of putting people in an awkward situation, though. Like, when you're asking out 3 of them, I don't advise you do this. Right? Like, 3's a lot of people. You can do it, and you should do it. Like, you should try it to get used to it. But what you should be learning from this, like it's complicated, right? Because say you ask out all 3 and you do it in like a general kind of way, you're making it clear, like it seems like you're increasing your odds, because then if any of them are single, like say this one in the middle that the friends are pointing to, say she is single and would be willing to go on a date, yeah, in theory you're increasing your odds because you're leaving your options open. But what you actually want to be doing, what's actually better, is asking one of them out. Like, be flirty and fun and talk to all 3 of them. And you can even flirt with all 3 of them. But I would definitely, like, hone in on one and say, like, throw like I said, a heavy-handed compliment at one of them, and then ask one of them out. Right? And you need to be adaptable to which one's like the most flirty. But it seems like the one on the right, like that's kind of where I'd be going. I'd be asking out the one on the right, and she has kind of the vibe that she's having the most fun in this interaction. Now, granted, they're literally having fun because they're kind of like, once they're to the point where they're pointing to one of the friends, to one of them, when the other ones are pointing to one, they're kind of like, it's kind of too jokey of an atmosphere, right? And you're going to, even if you get the number, even if you get the yes, you're going to run into the problem that this guy's running into, that it's not resulting in dates, because although you're getting the number of one of them, you're getting them in the context that, like, 2 of their friends basically just rejected you, which is gonna like lower that you in their eyes, the one that you did get the number of, and basically all 3 of them, because you just got dissed hard. You just got turned the F down. Unless 2 are in a relationship and 1 isn't, and it's kind of like that kind of vibe, right? Like, it's not guaranteed that that's going to be what happens. There is a certain format, a certain context, a situation where 2 of them are just out of the question. So it's the one that's single that you're really asking out. That effect can happen, but it's unlikely. More likely, it's one's going to reject you. I mean, like, first. Because a rejection is going to happen before a yes happens, most likely, right? But then once that no happens, that rejection happens, it puts the whole group conversation in the context of you just got rejected by one. So, like, why is the friend going to say yes if this other one thinks you're not worthy of a date, right? Like, it just puts you in such a bad situation. Whereas, ask the one you want to ask out, right? And then it doesn't matter. You're not brought down by getting rejected by the other ones. That's how I operate. That's how I do these things. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
That was such an insincere sure. Right? And then it's weird because you get a no, then you get this insincere yes or sure, which is basically practically a no. Then that puts the third person in the context of they kind of have to say no. Like, you got to think about the group dynamics and what's going on when you're asking out multiple women at once. It's almost never good.
No? Well, how's this? I'll grab your number. Does that sound good? Sure. Would you want to go on a date with me?
I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend.
And it just baseline seems a little bit desperate to ask out multiple women at once. It's gonna not only seem desperate, but it's gonna remove that intentionality, right? If you ask one of the three out, it shows a ton of intentionality, shows a ton of confidence.
I have a boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend.
Perfect.
Maybe?
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know you yet.
I definitely feel like I'm
I hope that as soon as a woman says that, the next thing he says is a huge compliment towards her. Just a compliment her appearance. Say, like, I would love to take you out on a date. You are actually very good looking. You're actually very hot. Do it.
getting a lot better at talking. But before I could ask out a personal trainer, I needed more practice. Would you guys want to go on a date with me?
I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
I don't, but it's like weird right now. So
Fair enough.
probably
No, I
not.
get it. Okay. Would you want to go on a date with me?
Sure.
I
Okay.
know you more. Sure.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
No, sorry.
Literally say, if you get a sure, if you get these maybes, say like, I really want to take you out. You're really hot. Boom. Boom. It's gonna blast your odds of turning that into a yes so high. Like, you have to, right? You're in a situation where like a sure is like 80% no, but 20% yes. You need to turn that 20 into 100 instantly. Or at least you ought to.
I have a boyfriend.
Awesome. What about you?
No, sorry. How old are you?
I'm 19. How old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
No, I have a boyfriend. Sorry.
I would he's kind of like just like, it's so weird how much this guy doesn't give a crap. I'm back to wondering if he's just like messing around, if he's actually like dating some of these broads, hooking up with some of them, and just being like a little bit dishonest, like kind of playing up the learning factor that he's doing. Like, he's underdogging himself when really he's an overdog. Because, I mean, everyone roots for the underdog, right? Everyone wants to see somebody progress. They want that, like, arc of the content they're consuming. Because that just seems, like, insincere, right? Like, you're 19. You're chatting up a chick. She's 24. It would make sense that you immediately say, like, hey, I like them older. Like, make a joke out of it. Call her a MILF or something crazy. Like, you can continue. Like, you haven't been rejected yet, right? And I think a lot of guys do this, especially guys who really struggle. They just lack confidence so hard that they like reject themselves before they've actually gotten rejected. Because if you haven't been rejected, right? And maybe he does, maybe just for the length of the video purposes, he just edits, like he's editing out a lot of the responses, right? Like maybe right after that he's like, hey, well, that's no problem, like, I don't mind dating a little older. Let's go out and get sushi. And maybe she's like, no thanks. But maybe not. Maybe he just was like, oh, well, you know, nice talking to you. It's complicated, right? Because you're in different situations. Maybe 24 is legitimately outside of his age range, so he doesn't want to go out with her. That's also possible. Who knows? But don't disqualify yourself, especially if you're a guy who hasn't done much dating. Like, beggars can't be choosers. And get some experience under your belt, because it's so funny. So many guys who like epically struggle with dating just entirely, a lot of them are very religious, and they kind of like don't understand the concept that if you get some experience with women, then that's going to make you better with women. Like, the woman that you end up with in a long-term relationship, if you're like better with women compared to having no experience with women, like, you're going to be able to make her happier in so many different ways if you have some experience.
I have a boyfriend.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
No.
Perfect. Would you guys want to go on a date with me?
I have a boyfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
For the first time in a while, the rejections started to get to me. Would you guys want to go on a date with me? Like, it's not like rejection therapy doesn't work, but it's just like, it doesn't make the rejections hurt less, if that makes sense.
So sorry, I have a boyfriend.
3 months ago, I dropped everything in my life to fully pursue my childhood dream of becoming a YouTuber. Would you want to go on a date with me?
Sorry, I have a boyfriend.
I've been putting 100% of my effort, time, and my money into making the best videos possible. Would you want to go on a date with me?
I like the camera angle. Like, I haven't even actually been paying attention to, like, where he's got this, like, camera attached to him. But he's getting, like, good, clear shots of the women's faces, which is critical, right? Because the whole point of the content is the little tiny nuances. So he's doing a good job and good editing, like, keeping it to the point. I like these videos so far.
I have a boyfriend. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. All I ask is that if you genuinely enjoy this video, to subscribe so I can hit my goal of 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
No.
Bro, I do not want to go record stuff this morning. I fucking don't want to do this, bro.
For some reason.
Oh yeah, there's times where, like, I feel, you know, I'm not recording videos out in public, but there's times where I'm just not feeling it. Where I'm if I encounter a pretty woman that 8 times out of 10, I guess 4 times out of 5, I would just ask her out. I would shoot my shot. Sometimes you're just like not in the mood. You're in a hurry. Maybe you're feeling a little under the weather. Maybe you're just like, who knows? Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. And that's fine.
My mind kept focusing on the rejections. Would you want to go on a date with me?
I unfortunately do have a boyfriend.
I'm old. I'm almost 30.
I feel like previously I was like very bold going up to people. But I feel like this time around, the strategy is to kind of be like a little bit more low-key, I guess. Keep trying that, I guess.
That was so smooth.
I appreciate it.
I'm actually here with my boyfriend though.
Would you guys...
You know what else is smooth?
want to go on a date with me?
I only date brown guys.
Understandable. Okay. What about you?
But I'm just confused on the part where you said you guys, plural.
Not at once, but slowly I started to
Man, that would be crazy if you like... I'm trying to think of a position. No, it'd be funnier if he said, have you ever heard of an Eiffel Tower? you would be the middle. That would be a great line. Because, yeah, it's weird. It's weird and confusing when you ask out more than one woman at a time. Because maybe you're asking for some three-way action. Which one do you actually want? And like the one woman said, she's like, I only date brown guys. Right? There's so many people out there who only want to date within their own race. It's a really common thing, right? Now, only white people are criticized for being like that, but literally every race is like that.
realize something about rejection.
Oh my god. I do have a question.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
Sorry, guy. I have a boyfriend.
This entire time, I was seeing every positive interaction as a success.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know you. I don't even know your name. Didn't introduce yourself.
And every rejection as a loss. Would you want to go on a date with me?
I don't think so.
But all along, it was actually those rejections that made me grow. I don't know if this makes sense, but I definitely feel like the rejections I'm facing are kind of making me more confident in other areas of life. I just feel like I'm a lot more confident talking to people in general, if that makes sense. Would you?
I don't really feel that way when I get rejected. Like, I would say the first, 10 times I got rejected, I was like, alright, I'm understanding now that this is going to happen frequently, and it just made it, meaningless in a certain way. Like, there's still a lot I learned from being rejected after that, but, not nearly as much as having the, really positive yeses. It just, I don't know.
You want to go on a date with me?
Sure.
Awesome. I'll grab your number then.
Okay, yeah.
Would you want to go on a date with me?
Sure.
It's definitely made life a lot more fun. My name's Felix. Nice to meet you. I just saw you and I thought you were really pretty, to be honest. This is so random, and I hate to put you on the spot. I was wondering if I could maybe get your phone number.
Sure. I don't know actually, but I think it's fine.
How often does this kind of thing happen?
Not very often.
Okay.
Does he actually go on a date with her? I feel like he must. Because how else would he know that she, doesn't want to be on the video?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Figured I'd step outside my comfort zone, and awesome.
That's a good idea.
What do you like to do for fun? Sounds good enough to me. Alright, well, I'll text you. I got a friend to help me talk to girls. I asked out a personal trainer, and now it was time to wait for a text and hopefully go on a date. Okay, so after a few...
Wait for a text? Did he put his number in her phone? What? What? What's going on?
Weeks, here are the results. Out of the 21 girls that said yes, 7 of them didn't respond to my text, so I ended up talking to 14 girls and having some pretty good conversations.
And if she says that she's going to be there, whatever gym this is, in person the next day or whatever time period she said, she probably wants you to go there at that time and basically ask her out again, cement plans.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to record any of the dates that I went on, but out of the 14 girls that I ended up talking to, I'm still talking to a few of them, and so far, I've gone on 3 dates, and I genuinely enjoyed myself. Anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch one of my videos.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing that I talk about a lot on this channel is the back burner. Sometimes you are going to just throw women on the back burner. They're going to throw you on the back burner. You're just like, I call it the alpha orbit, because you know you have like beta orbiters, like these simps who are into these women, but they never have any kind of real chance, right? They're way too much of a simp. They're way too desperate and obsessed. But then you have guys who are in the alpha orbit, where they're just kind of on the back burner, where they had some kind of like attraction was established, some flirtation went on, but just that, you know, maybe that chick's got something going on with somebody, and it's just at some point down the road you're gonna hook up, right? So you have to also kind of understand that. That's like a really critical thing that doesn't get talked about enough, is that sometimes you're just in the alpha orbit and you can exist in that and not be in constant communication with a woman. Sometimes you are. Like there's women that I've talked to for years and years. There's women that I've kept in touch with since high school, where down the road it's likely that we'll date at some point. That's just what it is, right? So, and some of those, like I've talked to, you know, not like every day for years and years, but like probably at maybe once a year. We're talking semi consistently for like a couple months, right? And then there's other people where they've been on the back burner for years and years, and we haven't even talked for years, but like there's a connection that was formed at one point, and that connection could be like sort of rekindled, even if it never even resulted in anything, right? Never resulted in a date or meeting up or anything, but down the road, like this chick still knows I'm a awesome guy, right? It's like you're in the pool, the dating pool. You're just not, just the time ain't right. And you should have, like, you should exist. The way I look at it is you should exist in the alpha orbit for like a bunch of women, and then you should have women also in your alpha orbit. Like women who are into you, like who would really like to date you, but you're just like, just the timing isn't right for you, right? Like it's very I don't know, to me that's how like being a smooth operator really works.
Please subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe. I'd watched 2 videos of his. I liked them both. Both very interesting to review. I hope he keeps making more. I'm gonna check out his channel, see what other kind of videos he makes, and see if there's something I can react to. Yeah, the channel's Funnel. I like really basic names. Like I went with Jasper for my channel. This guy's Funnel. I'm subscribing. Hell yeah.